Okay, we are going to part 3 of suboccipital triangle. Last part, content of the triangle. Content of the triangle. First content of this triangle is vertebral artery. Here is the foramen transversium. So vertebral artery from the foramen transversium behind this articular facet enter into this vertebral canal. This part of the vertebral artery is called the third part of the vertebral artery. This one is the third part of vertebral artery. Vertebral we already have discussed in previous lectures. First part, or which origin from the subclavian artery up to this C6 foramen transversium of the C6 vertebrae. It is the first part. The second part we can identify in this foramen transversium up to this first cervical vertebrae, and then from the first cervical vertebrae enter into this vertebral canal. This one is the third part of the vertebral artery. So this one is the content of suboccipital triangle, which gives the muscular branches. The muscles of the suboccipital triangle also provide the branches to the meninges, that is called meningeal branches, and also provide the branches to the mastoid process, that is called mastoid branches. So mastoid branch, meningeal branch, and the muscular branch will be provided by this third part of the vertebral artery. Another content of the suboccipital triangle you can identify here is a first cervical nerve. Here is the first cervical nerve, that is called suboccipital nerve. First cervical nerve is called suboccipital nerve. I am writing here. Okay. Suboccipital nerve. This one is suboccipital nerve. First cervical nerve, suboccipital nerve, which divide into the dorsal and ventral branches. Dorsal branch is the muscular branches which form the boundary of the suboccipital triangle. It supplies the inferior oblique muscle. It supplies the rectus capitis posterior, major, also supply the rectus capitis posterior, minor, and also supply the superior oblique muscle. And it gives branch to the semispinalis capitis. Semispinalis capitis. This one is semispinalis capitis, okay, which form the roof of this triangle. So dorsal branch of the first cervical nerve, suboccipital nerve, which provide the branches to the muscles which form this boundary: rectus capitis posterior major, rectus capitis posterior minor, obliquus capitis superior, obliquus capitis inferior, and the semispinalis capitis. Semispinalis capitis. 5 muscles supplied by the dorsal branch of the suboccipital nerve. Another nerve we can identify here. Okay, I can make this branch. Okay. Here we can identify in this diagram another nerve which turn around the lower border of this inferior oblique muscle going upward, which pierce the semispinalis capitis, and here is the side of the trapezius. So it pierces the trapezius muscle also. It pierces the trapezius muscle. This one is the trapezius, and this one is semispinalis. Capitis. Yeah. And this nerve is called greater occipital nerve. Greater occipital nerve. This one is the greater occipital nerve. It is the thickest cutaneous nerve in the body, greater occipital nerve. It is a medial branch of dorsal ramus of C2. Medial branch of dorsal ramus of C2. Dorsal ramus. Medial branch of dorsal ramus of C2. It is called greater occipital nerve, which turn around the lower border of this inferior oblique muscle, which cross the infromedial part of this triangle, crosses the rectus capitis posterior major minor muscle going upward. It clears the semispinal capitis, it clears the trapezius, and supply the posterior part of the scalp up to the vertex. It is called greater occipital nerve. Another content we can identify here, which crosses the roof supralaterally and above this superior oblique, and this one is occipital artery. This is the occipital artery. This occipital artery also pierces this trapezius muscle. Here it pierces the trapezius muscle and run along with this greater occipital nerve. And supply the skin of the skull. So these are the contents of suboccipital triangle, suboccipital nerve, and the third part of the vertebral artery. In applied aspect, sometimes we need to the CSF from the cisterna magna. This is the site of the cisternal puncture. Needle should be introduced just above this spine of axis, going upward and forward up to the depth of the 4 to 5 centimeter, which pierces the posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. And then we will get this CSF. So this is the site of cisternal puncture. Suboccipital triangle. Thank you.